pretty. The parish church of Our Lady of Perpetual Help, built in 1908, was designed by the architect Theodore Marian Talovsky. The church stood at 69 metres. During the First and Second World War, the church was damaged and later in 1955 destroyed. The central department store was built on the church's foundation in 1959. I guess that's the central department store then. I had to beat a hasty retreat. Not really a retreat, just I was chased down the road by an old lady who was speaking to me about something. And first of all, I thought she was trying to say, you're taking a lot of pictures and you shouldn't. Then I thought she was saying, I want to look at what your pictures are. And then she was talking about 1 and 2, and she got her phone out. Yes, the lady got her phone out, and in all honesty, I was being a little bit uncomfortable, you know. And therefore, whatever she was proposing, I suggested maybe she speak to the Ukrainian guy. Oh dear. Now, why would a fat person want to get into my picture? I don't know. She could have just walked straight past. Would have made both our lives easier. So that's the second strange woman I've had making contact with me, if I should call it that. And didn't really appreciate either, you know. I'm not here to chase Ukrainian ladies. I like Ukrainian ladies, don't get me wrong. And what have we got over here? Guys, funny day. Am I feeling as perky as I was earlier? Maybe not quite as perky. Still reasonably perky. But I'm controlling my perkiness as best I can. Because if I appear too perky, perhaps that's what's causing strange women to try to attach themselves to me. I should be so lucky. And of course, it just coincidentally, none of it was on film. Well, you do believe me, don't you? Nice looking church, or is it a monastery? Does it help to have a map, whether it's on your phone or in paper form, in your hand? Is it advisable to go out with a definite plan of action in mind, and you can stick to it and follow it and systematically go down all the streets you want to go down in order to see all the statues, parks, museums, whatever else takes your fancy? Or is it better to just allow yourself to be distracted when you come across a nice big archway? My narrative came to a sudden abrupt end because suddenly 3 policemen appeared, and I thought they would be saying to me, what are you doing filming that very nice big archway? Nice big archway. I don't know why it's here really, other than it's decorative and it leads to a walking street. So maybe I meant to take the walking street, but I don't really want to run into that lady again. Not the old lady who was on about 1-2, 1-2, or the woman who squeezed herself between me and a hand railing when she could have just walked by easily on the other side of me while I was filming. Yes, a rum business. And oh, this guy looks like the guy who's in the hostel. There's a big fat guy big old fat hairy guy who doesn't wear a shirt in the hostel. Some hostels have those people staying in them and allow them to stay, and they're usually long-term guests who just get over comfortable, you know. And you wish they wouldn't get over comfortable. Now, where was I before I pressed something accidentally and messed up my filming? That's right. I was talking about this big fat guy in the hostel. An older guy. Doesn't wear a shirt. Hairy. And unfortunately he's one of those stereotypical older guys who's living in the hostel that some hostels allow to live there, and you really wish they didn't, because nobody wants to see somebody with their shirt off floating around the hostel, do they? I know you're going to say, well, it depends who it is who's got their shirt off, but I don't think anybody wants to see a fat old guy with a hairy body who looks like this guy, for example, sitting around the common room or hanging around in the kitchen or the bathroom areas. I'm getting distracted. I think I was traumatized by running into that guy a couple of times already in the hostel. Who is this? And what's he doing here? What's he all about? I got no idea. Archeolog. So he's an archaeologist. Is an archeolog an archaeologist? That would make sense, wouldn't it? And maybe he is a famous archaeologist. He's carrying a knapsack thing on his shoulder. Not heard of the man. That doesn't mean to say he isn't famous. Here we are, on a little walking street I don't know the name of. And I'm following the music. Very nice balconies here. Oh, hello, what's down here? I'll tell you what's down here. Some street art. Well, some nice street art, and then there's some strange stuff. Not sure what this is about. Whether it was the beginning of something that was meant to be more appealing, I really can't say. And tucked away here, out of the way where nobody would expect to find it, is absolutely nothing. See, hunches don't always pay off. Just that one piece of street art. So it's all very jaunty and holiday-ish. Maybe Christmas came early to Ternopil.
Друзі, зараз знову звучатиме пісня, адже це феноменальне явище людського духу. Це неповторне диво у світовій музичній культурі. Це живе мистецтво, найблагодатніша частка людської діяльності. Лемківська народна пісня «Анничка» співає Вікторія Мещій.
Van Franco again. And although Ternopil is one of those towns in Ukraine I have visited before, it was one I visited on a road trip with Nick the Australian back in the day. A few years ago that was. So far I'm not remembering anything of what I've seen here. In fact, the only memory I have vaguely of my previous visit was the big lake, which we've yet to reach. Oh, here's a map. Apparently it looks like we're here. And a train station. Oh, hang on, my road isn't marked on it, so yeah. The hostel's on a road called Kaluchy, which is just off Bohdan Khmelnytsky Street, but it's not on the map. A little bit jivna, if you ask me. But that's the joy of just wandering around and kind of half getting lost, isn't it? Don't you think? You just find stuff. Some cities are very rich in stuff, and I think this small city is, although compact, has got an awful lot crammed into it. And it's very interesting compared to perhaps some other small cities or even larger cities which don't have so much of a touristic bent, shall we say. I've got to go back to these benches because I just noticed people have moved, and I've noticed we've got hearts. The little old lady wondering what the heck is that idiot doing with his phone? What's he photographing? Here's the church. I think we're standing right under number 5, must be where we are. The Dominican Catholic Church from 1779. And we came down this little side street and came down this little walkway, and I guess going backwards, here's Taras Shevchenko's Garden Square. Hang on a minute, I've lost the big open space. So I came round here, and the hostel is up there. Just in the picture, the hostel's up there. Beyond the bullet, over there. And this is not Bohdan Khmelnytsky Street for some reason. Got a different name. And there's the train station. Okay, doing this for my own satisfaction really, rather than trying to be a meticulous guide for anyone who's looking to plan out and map out a day trip to Ternopil, for example. Worth more than a day trip, I would say, certainly. You might want to come for a weekend if you're in somewhere such as Lviv. Not far from Lviv. If you're a student studying, working, or doing something or other in Lviv, you might want to come to Ternopil for a weekend or a few days. It's big enough, I think, to hold your interest if you're a couple for more than just a weekend. If you have lots of interests. If you're just a couple coming for a weekend, God, I'm getting really mixed up, aren't I? I should stop trying to arrange other people's travel plans for them and stick to the filming. Stick to the shaky filming and the dodgy narrative. Shaky filming and dodgy narrative is what I do best, after all. What I would say I've noticed is, outside of this particular church of some note, we have got several beggars. None of which I hope are going to approach me, but you never know. Definitely won't be trying to go in there, and in fact I'm going to move away as I see one at the corner of my eye, looking as though they might be heading my way. Also I want to go in this direction to try and get a better view, a better angle. Phew. Now then, where am I going next? I think I want to go across to this park. Drawn in this direction because I see a man on a horse. And in case you were wondering if you're really a devoted follower of fashion and also a devoted follower of my videos, I can't imagine anybody really is, but yeah, the mystery of where's the big figure of Bogdan Khmelnytsky, the Ukrainian hero, sat on the white horse, and it's all in white outside the train station. Well, it doesn't exist outside Ternopil either. Don't know where I saw it, or if I did just create it in my mind. But here we have a nice figure, a heroic character atop a horse. It's not even Mazeppa. We haven't even spoken about, have we? It's hello a minute, this sounds familiar. Danilo Galitsky. Is that what you make it? Danilo Galitsky? The Danilo was sounding familiar, the Galitsky not so much. Now we can see far more clearly. Ternopil certainly has a rich history, as many cities do, of course, and the territories being fought over, divided, conquered, split again, borders changed, and it was once a southern frontier fortress city of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. That kind of was the beginning of it back in the days of a Polish nobleman called Ternopil, and he was supposed to be defending the southern boundary of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth from attacks by the Tatars and the Turks. But in its day, after being fought over, it's passed into all sorts of hands. Of course, Russian, Austrian even, believe it or not. And isn't that nice when you match it up with that big church? Any opportunity I get to get my ugly mug in the picture, you know I'll take it. Move on. Hold on to your hats.